What do you think it was about the town of Zemst and Belgium in general that made you think you could make dedicated curling successful there?
We definitely don't have the traditional business model. You mentioned Green Acres. There's God knows how many clubs in that facility and how many people churn through that on a daily basis. I think the whole of Belgium currently only has like the three clubs together, maybe 100, 120 curlers. So fees from the curlers was never ever gonna pay our the loans that we had to pay back and all that kind of stuff. So our model is really heavily geared towards initiations, learn to curls, either for companies or sports groups or just family and friends groups kind of thing. Obviously, it's been a weird year and a half, but the previous years we got anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000 people through the facility.
Oh wow!
On a yearly basis. So yeah, that's what pays our rent, so to speak. We're not too far from Brussels. We're like a 20-25 minutes drive from Antwerp, so you could say that you're quite close to the two largest towns in Brussels. Mm-hmm. But I think the main attraction was just getting to a place where we could get the land, at a really low rent or for free, used for free, as in this case, and then kind of build it from there. Because if you're talking about, getting corporations in, I mean, it's not that big of a drive, and for a one-off, for sure, they will come.
So what does your membership look like then? Are they mostly from Zemst? You said you only have around 100, 120 members of the whole country. So do people come from all over Belgium, or are they just local to the rink? And what's the age profile like? Are they older or younger? Do you have junior program?
It's there's some folks that live fairly local, but it's pretty all over. At least when you talk about the Flemish-speaking part of the country, which is the north side. Yeah, we got people that, the third club in Belgium, the one from Turnhout called Campina, their ice rink also closed down. So they basically curl out of our facility. And some of these guys have a 40 plus minute drive to get there. I think you could say that 80-90% of our membership probably lives within a 25-kilometer radius, 25-30 kilometer radius. And yeah, I think the average age, it's been a while since we looked at it, but it's through the initiation, we got some guys in their 20s and early 30s in. Obviously, there's some of the older folks, so the average age is probably easily 35, 40. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, we got about 14 or 15 juniors. So that's really, when we got together with the board a couple of months ago, that's really going to be our focus for this and the next couple of coming years, to really try and, because there's it's mostly some kids from current curlers, but some of them have brought some friends. So trying to build up that, the youth membership is really going to be our focus in the next couple of years. And it slots in nicely with what the Belgian Curling Federation is trying to do, because they bought some of the equipment like Rocks and Rings is using in Canada. I mean, I think it's going to be an issue finding the people that can actually run it, but for sure we now have the equipment to take it to some of the schools and let them experience what curling is, because it's really a niche of a niche sports here in Belgium.
That's great. So what's next for curling in Belgium? You mentioned you're trying to get a junior program going. Are there plans for a high performance program? You've got a team in the C's that's hoping to get promoted. But does your club or the association have plans at kind of the more high performance end of the sport?
Right now, the juniors that we have, they're all between something like 8 and 12, I think, or 7 and 12. So building those up to, really high performance, that's like a 10-year plan, right? Unless we got some kids coming in at the age of 14, 15, and they're really good from the get-go. So building up that junior program and maybe getting out to some schools, from the BCA end kind of thing, that's definitely the plan. Other than that, it's keeping the current team going. I mean, I think in our pre-recording conversation, we talked a little bit about the Dutch program, but that's a completely different ball game, right? I mean, we had some of the Dutch players over for our Bonspiel, and we were discussing it. I mean, in the Netherlands, all of the funding, all of the focus goes to Jaap van Dorp and maybe a little bit on the periphery, and that's it. Whereas in Belgium, it's really still very much curling as you've known it for decades, with a very high social aspect. Yeah, if we can get a really good performing team out of that, that's fine. But so we'll see what our men's team does. If they can maybe get past the pre-qualifier, then maybe we can start talking to our Olympic Federation to get a little bit of funding. But yeah, I don't think we have any kind of high performance expectations for the next 3-4 years or so.